Welcome back to Easy English Talk Podcast.
Welcome back, everyone, to Easy English Talk Podcast. I am Ryan, and it is so good to have you here with us today. Priya, how are you doing? How has your day been so far?
Ryan, honestly, my day has been really good. I had a quiet morning, made some tea, and just enjoyed the calm before getting into work. How about you? How are you feeling today?
I am feeling great. Thank you for asking. I had a peaceful morning too, which I think is a good sign for the kind of conversation we are going to have today. There's something about starting the day quietly that just sets the right tone.
I completely agree with that. A calm morning always makes the rest of the day feel more focused and meaningful. I think that actually connects a little bit to what we are talking about today, but we will get into that very soon.
Yes, we will. But first, I want to take a moment to speak directly to you, our listener. Wherever you are in the world right now, we are so glad you are here. Whether you're listening in the morning, during a commute, or late at night, thank you for choosing to spend this time with us.
And we genuinely mean that. Every listener matters to us, and we love knowing that people from so many different countries and backgrounds are tuning in to Easy English Talk Podcast. It always feels like a little community growing together.
Ryan smiles. So I want to ask you something. Where are you watching or listening from right now? Drop a comment and let us know your city or your country. We always love reading those, and it is amazing to see how far this podcast has reached.
Yes, please do share. And while you are at it, we would also love to know, is this podcast helping you improve your English? Is it helping you with your confidence, your fluency, or even your daily life in some way? Your feedback truly means a lot to us.
If it is helping you, tell us how. And if there's something you would like us to do better, tell us that too. We are always learning just like you are. Now, today, we are discussing how to protect your eyes, ears, and tongue in Ramadan.
This is such an important topic, and honestly, it's one that does not get discussed enough. Most people focus on the food and the fasting schedule during Ramadan, but there's so much more to this blessed month than just what we eat and drink.
Exactly. And here is why this episode matters to you right now. If you are fasting this Ramadan, or if you want to make this month more spiritually meaningful, then understanding how to protect your senses is going to change the way you experience these 30 days.
And even if you are not Muslim, this episode offers something valuable. It talks about self-discipline, mindfulness, and controlling your habits, which are things that benefit every single person, regardless of background or belief.
So stay with us until the end, because we are going to go through this step by step in a way that is clear, practical, and easy to apply. Let's start by understanding the bigger picture of what Ramadan is really asking from us.
Most people know that Ramadan is about not eating or drinking from dawn until sunset, but the deeper purpose of Ramadan is to cleanse the soul, to build self-control, and to become a better version of yourself. The fasting is actually a tool, not just a ritual.
That is a beautiful way to put it. And when we see fasting as a tool for growth, it naturally makes us ask, what else should we be doing to make this fast complete? Because just stopping food and water is only one part of the picture.
The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said something very powerful. He said that if a person does not leave false speech and acting upon it, then God has no need for that person to leave food and drink. This tells us that the fast must include our behavior, not just our stomach.
So the fast of the eyes, the ears, and the tongue is just as important as the fast of the stomach. And this is where many people struggle, because it's easy to stop eating, but it is much harder to stop harmful habits in what we see, hear, and say.
That is the real challenge of Ramadan, and it's the reason so many people finish the month feeling like they didn't fully benefit from it. They were physically fasting, but spiritually the doors were still open for things that damage the soul.
So let us talk about each one carefully. Let's start with the eyes, because this is perhaps the most overlooked area. In the modern world, our eyes are constantly consuming content. Screens, social media, videos, images, and so much more.
We live in a world that is designed to grab our attention visually. Every app, every platform, every advertisement is built to pull your eyes in and keep them there. And during Ramadan, this becomes a serious challenge for anyone trying to protect their fast.
So, what does it mean to protect your eyes during Ramadan? It means being conscious of what you choose to look at. It means avoiding content that is inappropriate, that feeds desires, that wastes time, or that fills your mind with negativity and distraction.
And it is not just about big things. It is also about small daily habits.
scrolling through social media for hours, watching shows that are full of violence or inappropriate content, or even just spending too much time on your phone when you could be doing something more meaningful.
The eyes feed the heart. Whatever you consistently look at begins to shape your thoughts, your emotions, and your behavior. If your eyes are constantly consuming negativity or temptation, your heart will feel heavy, distracted, and far from the spiritual state that Ramadan is meant to bring.
There is a concept in Islamic teaching about lowering the gaze. Most people connect this only to avoid looking at the opposite gender in a sinful way, but the principle is actually much broader than that. It is about choosing, with intention, what your eyes focus on.
That is a really important point. Lowering the gaze is about intentional vision. It is about saying, I am in control of where my eyes go. I am not just a passive receiver of whatever the world puts in front of me. I have the power to choose.
And that sense of control is incredibly empowering. When you start deciding what you will and will not look at, you begin to feel a sense of inner strength. You realize that discipline in small things builds discipline in bigger things too.
So, practically speaking, what can someone do during Ramadan to protect their eyes? One of the most effective things is to reduce screen time intentionally. Not completely, because that may not be realistic for everyone, but consciously and with purpose.
Set limits on your phone. Use the built-in tools that most smartphones now have to track and limit how much time you spend on certain apps. Decide before you open your phone what you are going to use it for, and then close it when you are done.
Another helpful practice is to replace the time you would normally spend scrolling with something that benefits your eyes and your soul. Reading the Quran, reading beneficial books, or simply looking at nature, the sky, trees, and open spaces. These are all things that calm the mind and nurture the spirit.
There is actually research that shows that spending time looking at natural environments reduces stress and improves mental clarity. So protecting your eyes during Ramadan is not just a spiritual practice, it is also genuinely good for your mental health.
Now, let us move to the ears, which is the second area we want to focus on. Our ears are always open. We cannot close them the way we close our eyes. And because of that, we sometimes underestimate how much our environment is affecting us through sound.
Think about what you listen to on a typical day. Music, conversations, podcasts, videos, phone calls, background noise from television. All of these sounds enter your ears and influence your mood, your thoughts, and your inner state in ways you may not even notice.
During Ramadan, protecting your ears means being more intentional about the audio environment you put yourself in. It means choosing what you listen to carefully and reducing exposure to things that pull you away from the spiritual purpose of the month.
One of the clearest areas to address is music. There are many different scholarly opinions on music in Islam, and we are not here to debate those today. But during Ramadan specifically, even people who normally listen to music often choose to take a break from it, simply to create a more focused and peaceful spiritual space.
And the reason that feels right for many people is because music, especially fast, loud, or emotionally intense music, can shift your inner state very quickly. It can bring up excitement, sadness, desire, or distraction, all of which make it harder to maintain the calm and focused mindset that Ramadan calls for.
Replacing music with Quran recitation, even as background sound in your home, changes the entire atmosphere. Many people report that their homes feel genuinely different during Ramadan when the Quran is playing softly in the background instead of music or television.
Another important area for the ears is gossip and harmful conversation. This is something that happens so naturally in social settings that we often don't even realize it is happening. Someone starts talking about another person and suddenly everyone is involved.
Listening to gossip is spiritually just as damaging as speaking it. If you are sitting in a conversation where someone is being spoken about unfairly or unkindly, and you say nothing and simply listen, you are participating in that harm. Your ears are accepting what should be refused.
So, during Ramadan, protecting your ears also means politely excusing yourself from conversations that go in that direction. It means changing the subject, redirecting the discussion, or simply saying, I would rather not talk about this. It takes courage, but it becomes easier with practice.
And there is also the question of what we listen to in terms of content and media. News can be important, but excessive news consumption, especially of violent or disturbing events, fills the mind with heaviness and anxiety. During Ramadan, being selective about how much news you consume is a wise choice.
The goal is not to be uninformed. The goal is to be intentional. You can stay informed without spending 3 hours watching news that leaves you feeling hopeless or agitated. A few minutes of meaningful information is enough, and then you protect your inner space.
Filling your ears with beneficial content during Ramadan, Quran, lectures, Islamic reminders, beneficial podcasts like this one, creates a surrounding of goodness. And that surrounding shapes how you think, how you feel, and how you behave throughout the day.
Now we come to the third and perhaps the most challenging area, and that is the tongue. The tongue is one of the most powerful and most dangerous parts of the human body. It is small, but it can cause enormous harm or enormous good, depending on how it is used.
There is a very famous saying in Islamic tradition that whoever believes in God and the last day should speak good or remain silent. This simple principle, if truly applied during Ramadan, can completely transform a person's experience of the month.
Most of us talk a lot throughout the day, and when we talk that much, it is almost impossible for everything we say to be purely good. Some of it is unnecessary, some of it is exaggerated, some of it is unkind, and some of it is outright harmful.
Ramadan is an opportunity to reset our relationship with speech, to become more conscious of what comes out of our mouths, to pause before speaking and ask, is this necessary? Is this true? Is this kind? Will this add value to the moment?
And this is where many people break their fast spiritually without even realizing it. They stop eating, they stop drinking, but then they sit with friends and spend hours in empty talk, jokes that cross lines, arguments, complaints, or gossip, and the spiritual value of the fast quietly drains away.
The tongue is connected to the heart. When we speak too much, we tend to speak carelessly. When we speak carelessly, we hurt people, we damage relationships, and we fill our own hearts with regret. Ramadan is the perfect time to practice the discipline of mindful speech.
One of the most powerful tools for protecting the tongue is simply reducing how much you talk in total. Not because silence is always better, but because less speech naturally leads to more thoughtful speech. When you talk less, what you do say tends to be more meaningful.
There is also the area of arguments and debates. Ramadan teaches us that even if someone provokes you or says something unfair to you, the best response is to say, I am fasting. Not as an excuse, but as a reminder to yourself and to the other person that this is not the time or place for conflict.
That response, I am fasting, is one of the most dignified things a person can say in a moment of tension. It redirects the energy, it reminds you of your purpose, and it often disarms the other person completely because they were expecting a fight, not calmness.
Protecting the tongue also means being careful about lying, even small lies. During Ramadan, honesty should be heightened. If you made a mistake, own it. If you don't know something, say so. If you disagree with something, express it kindly rather than pretending to agree.
And backbiting, which is speaking about someone in a way they would dislike, even what you say is true, is considered one of the most serious sins in Islam. Ramadan is a powerful time to break this habit because you are already in a state of heightened awareness and self-discipline.
Here is something practical that many scholars and teachers recommend. Keep a small mental note, or even a physical note, of how many times you spoke today in a way that you regret. Not to punish yourself, but to become more aware. Awareness is always the first step toward change.
As the days of Ramadan go on and you practice this more, you will begin to notice something beautiful. Your conversations will feel more peaceful, your relationships will feel lighter, and you will carry less of the invisible weight that careless words leave behind.
There is a real sense of lightness that comes when you are not constantly processing regret over things you said. When your speech is aligned with your values, you feel more whole, more at peace, and more spiritually connected. And that is exactly what Ramadan is designed to produce.
Now, let us talk about how these three things, the eyes, the ears, and the tongue, are connected to each other, because they do not work in isolation. What you see influences what you say. What you hear influences how you feel. And how you feel influences all of your actions.
They form a cycle. If your eyes are consuming harmful content, that content enters your thoughts. Those thoughts come out through your tongue in the form of words, and those words affect the ears of the people around you. Everything is connected.
This is why Islamic teaching addresses all three together. It is not just about fixing one habit. It is about creating a complete inner environment of discipline and goodness. And Ramadan is the ideal training ground for building that kind of inner world.
Think of Ramadan as a 30-day intensive workshop for your soul. You are not just practicing hunger, you are practicing restraint in every form. And every time you successfully protect your eyes, your ears, or your tongue, you are strengthening a spiritual muscle that will serve you long after Ramadan ends.
That is such a beautiful way to think about it. And it removes the feeling that Ramadan is about restrictions and sacrifice. Instead, it becomes about building something. Building patience, building discipline, building character, and building a deeper connection with your own values.
And the benefits are not only spiritual. When you reduce harmful visual content, your mind becomes clearer. When you stop listening to gossip, your social relationships become healthier. When you speak more carefully, people begin to trust and respect you more deeply.
These are real, tangible results that happen when you take this kind of self-discipline seriously. And Ramadan gives you the structure, the motivation, and the spiritual environment to actually do it. It is like a gift that arrives every year to help you reset and grow.
For people who are learning English, there is also a beautiful connection here. Improving your language is also about self-discipline. It is about choosing to listen carefully, to speak thoughtfully, and to be intentional about what you consume in terms of content and conversation.
The same habits that help you protect your fast will also help you improve your English. Listening to quality content, speaking with intention, and choosing what you expose yourself to are all habits that build fluency, confidence, and clarity in language.
So in a way, Ramadan and language learning share the same foundation. Both require patience, both require consistency, and both require the courage to say, I am going to be more deliberate about how I use my mind and my senses today.
Now, let us also talk briefly about the social aspect of this. Because protecting your eyes, ears, and tongue is much harder when you are around other people who are not making the same effort. And this is a real challenge that many people face during Ramadan.
You might be at a family gathering where gossip is flowing freely. You might be with friends who are watching something inappropriate. You might be in a work environment where the conversation regularly crosses boundaries. These situations test your resolute in a very real way.
And the answer is not to isolate yourself completely. That is not realistic, and it's not what Ramadan asks of us. But it is about finding your own center first, so that you can remain grounded even when the environment around you is not ideal.
One practical approach is to spend more time in the morning and evening in personal reflection, prayer, or Quran reading. When you start and end your day with something meaningful, it creates a kind of spiritual anchor that helps you stay steady throughout the day.
Another approach is to choose your social time wisely. Prioritize gatherings where people are likely to have meaningful or beneficial conversations. And when you find yourself in a situation that is pulling you in the wrong direction, give yourself permission to step away without guilt.
It is also worth having honest conversations with close friends or family members about the kind of Ramadan experience you want to have this year. When people know that you are trying to be more mindful, many of them will respect that, and some will even join you.
Community matters during Ramadan. When people around you are also trying to protect their senses and guard their behavior, it becomes so much easier to do the same. The environment lifts everyone up, and the collective discipline creates a sense of shared purpose that is truly beautiful.
And for those who are doing this alone, without a supportive community around them, know that your effort is seen and valued. Every single time you choose to look away from something harmful, every time you walk away from a harmful conversation, it counts. It is building something real inside you.
Let us also speak about children for a moment, because many of our listeners are parents. Teaching children how to protect their eyes, ears, and tongue during Ramadan is one of the most valuable gifts a parent can give. And the way you do it is by modeling it yourself.
Children watch everything. They notice when you lower the volume of something inappropriate. They notice when you redirect a conversation. They notice when you choose not to respond with anger. And they learn from what they see, not just from what they are told.
So the effort you make to protect your own senses during Ramadan is also teaching your children, without a single word, what discipline looks like, what values look like, and what it means to take your spiritual life seriously.
That is a powerful and motivating thought. Your personal growth during Ramadan is not just for you. It ripples outward to everyone around you, your family, your community, and even people who simply observe you from a distance.
Now, as we move toward the end of our conversation today, I want to bring everything together in a way that feels practical and actionable, because we never want this podcast to be something you simply enjoy and then forget. We want it to actually change something for you.
So here is a simple framework to carry into Ramadan. For your eyes,
Decide every morning what you will and will not look at today. Make it a conscious choice, not a reaction to whatever appears on your screen. Give your eyes moments of rest and beauty through nature and reflection.
For your ears, curate your audio environment intentionally. Choose what plays in your home, in your car, and in your earphones. Make sure it is something that brings you closer to peace and purpose, not something that pulls you toward distraction, anxiety, or temptation.
And for your tongue, practice the pause. Before you speak, take one breath. Ask yourself, is this necessary? Is this kind? Is this true? If the answer to all three is yes, speak with confidence. If the answer to any one of them is no, reconsider.
These 3 simple practices, choosing what you see, curating what you hear, and pausing before you speak, are not complicated, but they are powerful. And if you apply them consistently throughout Ramadan, you will feel a difference that goes beyond the physical fast.
You will feel lighter inside, more present, more at peace, more connected to your purpose. And those feelings do not just disappear when Ramadan ends. If you have practiced them for 30 days, they begin to become part of who you are.
And that is the real gift of Ramadan. It is not just a month. It is a training period that, if taken seriously, can permanently improve the quality of your inner life. The discipline you build here stays with you, grows with you, and eventually defines you.
So wherever you are in your Ramadan journey this year, whether you are just beginning or you are already deep into the month, it is never too late to make a fresh intention. To say, today, I will guard my eyes, I will protect my ears, and I will be more careful with my tongue.
That intention alone is powerful. It sets a direction. And when you have a clear direction, the small daily choices become easier because you know where you are headed and why. Ramadan gives you both the direction and the energy to move toward it.
We really hope this conversation has given you something meaningful to take with you today, whether it confirmed something you already believed or gave you a new perspective on what fasting truly means. We are glad you were here for it.
And for our English learners specifically, we hope you also noticed how this entire conversation was held in clear, calm, and simple English. Every word was chosen to be easy to follow. Every idea was explained step by step. That is how we want to help you grow, through content that is both meaningful and accessible.
The best way to improve your English is to listen to content that you genuinely care about. When you are interested in the topic, your brain absorbs the language naturally and effortlessly. And we hope today's topic was one that genuinely mattered to you.
Before we close, I want to sincerely thank every single one of you for listening today. Your time is valuable, and you chose to spend part of it here with us. That means everything to the Easy English Talk podcast family, and we do not take it lightly.
Thank you so much from my side as well. Every comment, every share, every time you recommend this podcast to a friend, it helps this community grow. And a growing community means more people improving their English and their lives together. That is something worth celebrating.
And finally, if you enjoyed this episode, we want you to know that there are many more conversations waiting for you on the Easy English Talk podcast channel. We cover topics on spirituality, personal growth, self-discipline, relationships, mindset, and of course, practical English learning.
Each episode is designed to give you real value, real language practice, and real insight into topics that matter in everyday life. So explore the channel, find the topics that speak to you, and keep listening. Every episode is another step forward.
This is Ryan, wishing you a blessed, peaceful, and purposeful Ramadan. Take care of your eyes, your ears, and your tongue, because they are windows to your soul. Until next time, keep growing, keep learning, and keep striving for the best version of yourself.
And this is Priya, sending you warmth and good wishes wherever you are in the world today. Thank you for being part of Easy English Talk podcast. We will see you in the next episode. Take care, everyone.